to help her mother with the family's fledgling rose farm. Since then, she's specialised in exporting rose petals, and it's a growing business. She recently won the Verve Clicquot New Generation Award, and she's been awarded a Churchill Fellowship, among other things. She joins me now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Janine.
Big honour getting the Verve Clicquot Award, because that has some serious business names have won that. Heidi Clark and Sarah Jane and Heidi Clark, many people over the years.
Yes.
So,
I actually won I'm the inaugural winner of the New Generation Award, which is for businesswomen under 40. And I must say it was a complete shock to win the Verve Clicquot Award.
So tell us about your story. You were overseas. Were you doing anything special? What was the plan for life before you got rose petaled?
Certainly. So I had completed a science degree at Monash Uni and then went travelling. I wanted to be a ski instructor for a few years. And whilst I was overseas, I started missing the family farm and missing all of my family as well. And then with my uncle's death, I flew back to Australia and wasn't sure if I'd stay there, but loved being back at home with the family, and then ended up growing the roses.
Well, tell us what the original farm was meant to be, the rose farm. Was it just cut flowers?
So originally my mother had grown cut flower roses in Melbourne when I was younger and supplied all the florists there, and then grown dried roses on the farm in Swan Hill. So she'd scaled down through my uncle's death and over time as well whilst I was away. And we'd also had beef cattle as well as we have horses for harness racing.
Tell us how you came to see this market, because it's always interesting when people find a market that's not there. How did it come about?
Well, everyone thought I was absolutely crazy when I launched the rose petal business.
What made you think of it? Because I just think rose petals were the things you either threw at a wedding or put in a potpourri.
Well, we were growing the cut flowers and it really wasn't successful for us. And within the first 6 months, I thought we either have to find something else to do with the roses, or I'll have to find another career path. And it was back in the early days of dial-up internet, and I was sitting on the computer at night searching for rose alternatives, and came across a couple of businesses in the UK and the US that were rose farms that had started growing rose petals exclusively. And so I said to my mum, why don't we give this a go? And within 3 weeks, we launched our first range, exhibited at Australia's largest bridal expo, and developed a website, packaging, the whole lot.
So it is or at least started off, it is a wedding thing, rose petals.
It started as a wedding thing, and we've primarily been supplying brides in our early years. Now, recently, we've done a lot in the romance industry for all those romantic gentlemen out there, proposals and anniversaries. Oh, they write, "Will you marry me?" in rose petals on the bed. And
oh, really? So it is a growing business.
Well, it is.
Does that mean men are becoming more romantic, or are they watching this in movies?
I think they're seeing it in movies, really. But it's very exciting, though. We have a new line of direction for our business as well. That's being launched today, and it's our edible flowers. So,
okie doke. Now, are we talking like, I know I'm not a cook, I know you can get those little violets can be crystallised, nasturtiums, I think they are. Where do rose petals fit into the, because the edible flower thing has never really, I've never understood that.
Well, we're the first farm in the world to produce freeze-dried edible flowers, and
how do you make them edible?
So it's been a long process. The certification process, it's how you handle them. We don't use any sprays or chemicals on them. We don't use any preservatives on them. We just use the freeze-drying technique. So we've developed them for cupcakes and chocolates and decorations. And
you're the first in the world?
We're the first to release the freeze-dried edible flowers. So we've got everything from our rose petals and our roses, which are our baseline, I suppose, and then we've got marigolds and pansies and snapdragons.
So where's the market going? Because I gather you're the biggest supplier now in the Southern Hemisphere, are you, of rose petals?
Yes, that's right. So the rose petals is still our core business in the wedding industry, and this new edible flowers is a new line.
So is it because the wedding side, the romantic side, were men becoming less romantic, or you just wanted another string to the bow?
That was actually by sheer coincidence. We had a couple of television shows that were releasing romantic programs, and they asked us to use our rose petals, and then I think through that popular culture, then rose petals became the in thing for romance, and we saw another market opportunity.
So if you're the biggest already in the Southern Hemisphere, having something special like this, a point of difference in the edible flowers, is that, where's the market for that? I'm assuming there'll be an export market for that?
We're hoping to see an export market for that. The freeze-dry technique makes them extremely easy to export. We're also hoping to venture more into that restaurant and catering. They're really suitable for bakeries and chocolatiers.
You need to get on MasterChef, don't you? That's what you need.
I do. That would be great.
Okay, now tell us about the awards. You've got a Churchill Fellowship. You've also got an Agribusiness Award, a farming fellowship, I gather.
Yes.
So what is... you're not just doing this, you're not just a florist, you're obviously farming is your background. Where do you see that going, and what's it like on the land at the moment from what you're seeing?
To be honest, I'm super passionate about agriculture, and I think I'm very fortunate to be a female in agriculture.
Why is it rare?
Well, it is a little bit rare, but there are definitely more women becoming the primary farmers today. In terms of later this year, I will be travelling to the US. I'm one of the first farmers to be selected for the Global Farmer Roundtable 2015. I'm the Australian representative, and I'll be participating in the World Food Prize celebrations in Des Moines. So.
Well, taking it past your own rose petal business, what are the broader issues that you'll be pushing for at the roundtable, or that interest you, the challenges being, as you say, a female in this farming area?
Certainly. Well, one of the challenges that we face are telecommunications, and I think there's tremendous opportunities in agriculture for the use of telecommunications and internet services to improve productivity on the farm. But at the moment, with our telecommunications in rural areas in Australia, it's very expensive, and we don't have the same speeds that urban dwellers have. So in terms of generating that optimal productivity to help us with food security, one of the topics at the BORLAG dialogue in October, then we really need to get our telecommunications up to speed.
Okay, and the Churchill Fellowship, what did that, I suppose I don't often think of that with people in the land. I suppose it's business, is it?
Well, actually, I did receive a horticulture Churchill Fellowship in 2007, and that was just an amazing opportunity for me. I was in my 20s at the time, and that's where I managed to go and visit the actual rose petal farms that I sourced the idea from. It was just incredible to meet those people. And
so just finally on the Veuve Clicquot one, that's all based on the fact that Madame Clicquot, fought amazing odds to found this legendary champagne house, so they love rewarding entrepreneurs. You obviously touched a chord with them, but apart from getting a vineyard named after you, I think, do you get that like the other owners? Or
apparently a vine will be named in my honour.
Apart from that, what's it all meant for you? What's happening now at the moment? Obviously launching the edible flowers, but does the award give you a bit more cachet in that?
Well, it's such a prestigious award to win, and we also, as part of the award, we get to travel to the International Businesswomen's Conference next year in the Champagne region and stay at the Veuve Clicquot Maison. So it's going to be an amazing experience, and to be able to tie in our edibles with the Veuve Clicquot champagne, I couldn't think of anything better.
So champagne and edible roses, I think it's perfect. Should we say, how do people, if they all want to rush to put edible roses on their cupcakes? Yes. Or if we've got romantic men out there who want to say I love you in roses, do you have a website?
We do, so www.simplyrosepetals.com.au.
Very simple. Well, congratulations, good luck, and as I say, I think a MasterChef or something, but the cupcake craze is still going?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's lucky for you. I think roses will be the next. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
We're going to go to a short break, and we'll be back